Incidents at the European Grand Prix in Valencia was this colossal shunt by Mark Webber and the Red Bull 6 chassis high into the air and then heavy impact into the tyre barrier. But for me, one of the most spectacular parts of that accident was not the shunt itself, it was the great sight of seeing Mark Webber climb out of the car completely uninjured, giving evidence of the great integrity of a Formula One chassis in 2010. Let's have a look how the teams are managing to pull this off. Here we're seeing the Renault chassis, not a Red Bull chassis, but all the teams are using something virtually identical. This in isolation is the monocoque, the chassis, the survival cell, if you like, which will protect the driver. Side impact crush structures you see here, and the two roll hoops, the principal hoop on the air inlet system, the secondary roll hoop down here above the driver's knees. And we have another shot of this, which will go and give even more evidence of it. Here you can see we've put some virtual lines across the car, and the reason I've done this is it shows that from the principal hoop to the secondary hoop, when these two lines are joined together, there has to be a 2-inch gap between that and the driver's helmet. So even if the car is upside down, we should be able to protect the driver's head. We also crush test the front of the chassis and the rear of the chassis. And let's have a look at some stock footage to highlight that. Here we see the Red Bull chassis now being tested by the FIA. The rear crush structure, bang, big impact. You can see all this carbon shards flying away. Massive damage here to the front nose section, but remember, this is a crushable structure designed to do exactly that. As it crushes and concertinas up into here, it dissipates all the load of that impact. The front crush test now, bang! Now, look at this. Although there's big damage again to the nose section, remember it's designed to do that, but the survival cell here for the chassis remains intact. This, of course, is an FIA simulation of an accident, and here's a real-life accident exactly the same as the FIA. Kubica 2008 in Canada. Look at all the massive debris flying away from the car, but remember the survival cell. That is the only part of the car that the FIA and the teams are interested in. It is that part of the car which must remain intact to protect the driver. So even though we see all the suspension, the wheels, the radiators, the bodywork, ducting flying away, Robert Kubica was carried out of that car with no more than a sprained ankle. So although it was wonderful to see Mark Webber walk away from his accident, the FIA and the teams most certainly did not walk away from that accident. The chassis, the telemetry data, all given to Charlie Whiting and the FIA to ensure that the cars of 2011 are even safer than the cars we've seen in 2010.